Welcome back. This is Tattoo FAQ weekly series where I talk about the most commonly asked questions I've gotten from clients over the past 10 years so I can help make your tattoos look better. All right, so last week we talked about how to properly moisturize your tattoo. This week I want to talk about when it's best not to moisturize your tattoo. So here we go. This is episode 6. Let's get into it. Okay, so ideally, throughout your healing process, there's not going to be any scabs, there's not going to be an infection, but let's face it, life is life. Sometimes this does happen. So if that does happen, if you feel like you have a scab or you have an infection and the skin around that area is still really tight because it's a large tattoo and it's just a small area that has the scab or the infection, then when it comes to moisturizing that, you want to avoid that area entirely. So let's say this is the surface of your skin with the tattoo on it. Here's the scab or the infection. Now when it comes to your moisturizer, you want to stay away from that area. So make sure that you're leaving space where there's no moisturizer and you're only moisturizing on the surrounding area. The reason for this is because if you get moisturizer onto a scab, the scab is meant to be dry. So if you put moisturizer on it, it's going to soften it. It's going to prevent it from doing its job. It's also really important that you leave the scab alone. Let it do its thing. Let it be clean, let it be dry, and let it fall off naturally in its own time. You start picking at it, you're going to create a wound. You're running the risk of scarring. You're pulling the ink out of your tattoo, basically. You're going to end up with patches throughout your tattoo. You're going to come back to your artist. You're going to be like, oh, free touch-ups? And we're going to be like, no. You sat there and picked out your tattoo. We can tell when you do that. So it's super important that you take really good care of your tattoo. As soon as you leave the tattoo shop, it's out of our hands. We can't take care of it for you. So that's up to you. Now, when it comes to an infection, if you get that in your tattoo, you need to really keep it clean, really keep it dry, and pay attention to it. If you find after a couple of days of keeping the infected area clean and dry, and you find that it's not getting any better, then it's time for you to go to your doctor. You may need to get some antibiotics just to help your body to fight off this infection. Now, usually just keeping it clean and keeping it dry is going to be enough to make it go away, but sometimes we're getting sick, we're run down, we're stressed out. That may slow the healing process. So don't worry about it. Just go to your doctor, get some antibiotics. It'll help you out in the long run. All right, guys. As always, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you like these videos. So as always, like it, follow it, share it with your friends, because friends don't let friends get crappy tattoos. I'll see you next week.